yang and yin are like the two primal energies, which can manifest at the chakras and anywhere in the body. So it's like light and dark, two opposites. There are variations of those, like the rainbow, which is not white light or dark, but it's got variations of the primal energies. Now, you're getting a real crash course in all of this, all in one day, and especially with like this energy stuff. There's some schools that will spend, like the Barbara Brandon School of Light. I mean, they spend I don't know how many years to start to assess what's going on with people's energy fields. So I'm asking you to do something that could take a fair amount of time, especially to refine, to do it fairly quickly. And you're all doing really great. You're feeling stuff. So that's my style. Just go in and do it. The more you practice it, the more subtle it'll get, and it'll come to you. Okay. So this we can also do some perceptions with what's going on with people's basic movements in life. Before they were called elements, they were called like the 5 goings, or the 5 seasons, or the 5 general movements of life. So they're based on movements, not on water, fire, air, any of that. Those are just things, manifested elemental descriptions or examples. Okay, so the flowing movement. When someone's flowing, what does that mean to you? It's easy. Going with the flow. So what does it mean about their personality? What kind of personality would they be showing you?
At ease.
At ease. Adaptable, right? They're going with the flow. So any situation comes up, and it's fine, I can go with it. So you could be pretty brave if that was a consistent behavior. Pretty adventurous if you knew, hey, I know how to flow with things. How well do you flow when you haven't slept?
Not well at all.
Okay. So this is the essence of our first movement. We are able to flow into life situations because we rest, because we sleep, because we have a winter season that's hibernation. We're supposed to hibernate. We're supposed to take it easy. We're supposed to charge our batteries so that when spring or morning time comes, we can deal with it. We can go. We can activate. So the dark season, the dark time of each 24-hour cycle when we're sleeping is here to help us charge our batteries so that we can flow into any situation. Okay, so you would get a sense if they've slept, literally, how efficient their sleeping is, when you sense that they can go with things. Imagine you're at a party, okay? So, the person doesn't know who anybody is, but you get a sense of comfort about them, that they're really, honestly, genuinely just flowing into the situation, right? Because if they're not flowing, if we're not sleeping, we're going to do something like this. Well, I don't know any of these people. Thank you. You put you put your back up against the wall, you actually raise your leg, because this straightens out your lower back, and that's what your kidneys need to filter your blood. And your blood is filtered, clear, strong, mineralized, then what goes to the brain is adaptable. So there's a connection between the physical functioning of the kidneys and our adaptability. But if we haven't slept, then the blood is toxic. We haven't had a chance to filter the blood all night. We've been awake and we need to rest. So it becomes difficult to flow into situation because the body ultimately wants to lie down and relax. That's the physical side to it. So the two scenarios here are when this energy is free flowing, we can flow into a situation just like water. Water is an example of something in nature, an element of nature that takes on the shape of any container. Or water can flow back. Try to grab it, it's gone. So we're either doing one or the other. Either flowing into situations or moving back. When you go to meet somebody, come to meet me, please. I'm at the party. Okay. And you say, you want to introduce yourself, you want to meet me. When you go to meet somebody, what do you do? Nice to meet you. See that? So I want you to watch for those things. Okay? Their words are different than their language. It's nice to meet you. So listen to how people say things, not what they say. And so that's a little bit on the flowing movement. We're either adventurous and going with things without being obtrusive, or we're backing away. And what do we do when we sleep besides rest and regenerate? Dream. So one of the reasons we can be flowing and adventurous in life is when we're connected to our bigger picture in life. When we know where the bigger picture is going in our life, the little circumstances like not sleeping or whatever it is, will be okay. We'll still manage to flow. That's why we like to look at the ocean. That's why we like to look at the stars. It helps us to remind us of the big picture, the bigger purpose in life. And that helps us to be more patient or happier or whatever it is. Okay? So being connected to our true dream, our dream in life, our life purposes, helps us to be more flowing in a situation. Okay? Now, if we've slept enough, we wake up, the sun rises, we have the next movement, which is called rising energy. And we take that dream, that life purpose, and we go, I'm ready to do it. I've slept enough. I had this dream last night. I know exactly what I want to do today. And I'm going to go and get there. And I'm going to get there right now. Let's go and do it. Get in the car. Your liver is connected to all the different activities that you do. Your liver has over 589 functions, and it does 450 different functions every minute. 450 different functions every, that's fast, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 450 is fast. So the liver likes to take that dream and put it into action now. Go, let's move this, let's get this done. You go here, you go there, all right? Move it, let's go. What are you waiting for? Let's go. And if you ever get in that mode, okay. So you got a dream, and you want to get there, and you like to do it fast, and you have a traffic jam. And a big toe with a liver meridian likes to go pedal to the metal. It doesn't like brake, clutch, gas, clutch, brake, clutch. It wants to go and wants freedom. That's what we want in springtime. The season is spring. Winter is hibernation. That's the dark nighttime season where we like to rest more. Springtime comes, we want to get up and go. That's why it's called rising energy. And if somebody says no to your get up and go, like a traffic jam, or a form to fill out. Okay, here's my business license. I want to get my career going. Become that holistic health practitioner. Everybody's going to love me. Let's go. Here's my business license. Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong form. And it's nice you came here so early and you were the first. But now, here's a big lineup. So please fill out the right form and wait at the end of the line. How does your liver chi that wants to do 450 things in 1 minute feel? How do you feel? Back of the line. It'll just be 2 hours. How do you feel? You feel frustrated. And it's important to be frustrated. It can actually help us break through stagnation. So there's a purpose to it, as long as it doesn't use us, as long as it doesn't build heat in our body, okay, and destroy our cells, and break down our tissues. So it's a force that needs movement. So for this rising energy, if there is frustration and anger, then we get to learn how to be patient by looking at the big picture and finding playful ways to express that energy. Otherwise it builds up inside us. So the two sides are patience, spontaneity, a spark of enthusiasm. When it's off, this energy tends to be frustrated. Okay, so you have a dream, you put it into action. It's the way you walk your dream, the rising springtime energy. Then, after spring, what season?
Summer.
Summer. What are people like in summer?
Happy.
They're what?
Happy.
Happy. Because, what are they doing? They're active. So this is more expanded. So this was called radiating. You had rising, was the element before, which is called wood or tree-like. And now you have fire. That wood is the spark, the fire, the infinite possibilities. Okay? So if you find a shortcut that gets you through the traffic jam, you're stoked again, and you can go into all the different possibilities that you're going to do with your dream, your career, whatever it is. And so that's the fire element, all over the place. Here, there, everywhere. It can be very, very inspiring. Some of you know Robin Williams, comedian Robin Williams. He's real typical fire element. You have to watch him. Like there may be other comedians on stage, you know, Whoopi Goldberg or whoever his friends are, right? But Robin Williams commands all the attention because he's just such a flame. Okay? So that's what fire element feels like. It's really, really charismatic, really inspirational. It's hilarious, and in excess, too much of that energy burns out. It's that big up and that big down. So it was called fire element. Radiating energy, passionate. What about in relationship? So far we've talked about three elements. We've talked about a dream. We've talked about putting that dream into action, how we walk our lives. And we've also talked about the passionate side to life. What about a relationship? A relationship needs all five of these elements. We've talked about three. You're at that party, that same party with people at the wall, okay? And this couple, you've heard, has, what I'm going to tell you, and you're going to tell me why, has a flowing water element relationship. Or we could say a kidney relationship. Kidney houses that energy. So what's a kidney relationship? What do these people have in common? What do they have? What's the source of their energy in relationship?
Love.
What kind of love? There's different types of love. We're actually going to talk about 5 different types of love here. This type of love,
Calm.
somewhat calm. This kind of love, what's it based on? So, what do you do at night?
Sleep, passion.
What do you do at night?
You
No,
sleep.
no, no.
I sleep. You
No passion at night.
sleep. You sleep.
You sleep, and what do you do when you sleep, remember?
You dream.
Ah, so this relationship is based on sharing a dream. They have a cosmic consciousness. They just know that they're in this. There's some bigger purpose than they've found out. This is big picture consciousness. Dream consciousness. And it's really important as a basis for any relationship. Even a work relationship. If people are sharing a similar dream, it makes the work environment much better. Right? And for sure, in a day-to-day relationship, 2 people are going to be a lot better off. They're going to flow much better in their lives if they share the same dream. And the same dream for all of us is something like happiness for the planet and all of that. Because we're all in that same dream. Everybody wants world peace. And you may have an individual way that you express your dream, which is actually the next movement, rising energy. So how do you put your dream into action you can have a tree-like relationship. These people have something in common. Not just their dream, they're both early risers, or they're both late nighters, or they both like the same sports, or things that we have in common are usually why we like people. You like people because they mirror something in you that you like about yourself, so that's why you like the person. Right? And so that's why a lot of relationships get together. Oh, they have so much in common, right? So that's tree element. Now, a lot of people can have something in common on a day-to-day basis, how they walk their life. However, they may not be connected to a bigger picture, and then that's where a relationship could fall apart. So that root is very, very important. Okay, so they have a dream. They have this commonality. They can finish each other's sentences because they just know how they think. So that's great. It's a nice spark for the next part of the relationship, which is different kind of love. What kind of love is the fire love? Passionate. Okay? Life in the fast lane. That kind of relationship, that exciting fire, passion, is important to a relationship as long as it has all the other elements to it. Because if it doesn't have the other elements that we're all in the process of discussing, then what happens to the fire? It gets burned out. It gets scattered, chaotic, all over the place, just like a fire does in Southern California. It'll burn and make havoc everywhere, and it's really unpredictable how it moves. So, those are the tendencies of fire element, which, by the way, is the heart. This is the heart meridian. So we discussed these meridians a little bit. Water element is kidney and bladder. Tree-like energy, or rising energy, is liver and gallbladder. And the passion energy has got 4 meridians to support it, not just 2 like the other ones. It has what I call the heart regulator, or pericardium. The heart, the small intestine, and the triple heater. Those are the 4 meridians and the 4 organs that support our passion in life. Okay? So the energy here is passionate, ideally like a calm candle, or they're out of whack and they're all over the place. Okay, so if you're passionate about some work you want to do, some dream you want to put into the world, what's the next step after being passionate about it? You want to do this, you want to do that, you can feel all the possibilities, you're on fire about it. What do you do about it? What's next?
Take action.
You take action. What kind of action do you take? Is it up or is it down energy?
Grounding.
Now it's more grounding. So at this point, it's going to take some perseverance. Let's say you want to be a photographer. I'm going to be the best photographer in the world. I'm going to take pictures of animals. I'm going to take pictures of people. I'm going to go all over the world. I'm going to get my photographs on this place. It's going to be in museums. Going to be, and you're in fire element mode on it. But first, you got to get a camera. You've got to learn how the camera works. You've got to learn about the light. You've got to learn about it. There's all these grounding skills that are necessary to support your passion. So this is grounding. And it's the season of early fall. Just like summer is the season where everybody's all over the place. Yeah? Now early fall is when we go back to school and we start learning. The energy's coming down. The leaves are coming down. So the energy is more helpful to support us in learning. Taking our passion and grounding it. Okay? And usually when we ground something, this takes perseverance, it takes carrying through, It takes going one step at a time and finishing, clarifying, carrying through all of that. And usually we also connect with other people. So originally this was the center element. This was the center of the directions. So north is related to what element or what season? This direction north. Use your brain. Winter, because north is the darkest and most like winter. East is where what happens to the sun. It rises in the east, gets our energy moving. It's the most radiant in the south. So we have flowing. So the Chinese maps are the opposite of ours. They have north on the bottom. And as we expand, we have rising in the east, and in the south, we have the fire element. And then we start to ground. Start to carry things through. And so, here you also have relationship. I want to be a photographer, Mom. This is it. I finally found what I want to do. I know I tried this, I know I tried that. This is what I want to do, Mom. I really want to be a photographer. I'm going to take pictures. I'm going to travel all over the world. I started my website this morning. And I love it. I just love it. It's a good idea, right, Mom? Well, let's see, Junior. Do you have a camera? Oh, I'm going to get a camera. I'm going to get a camera. I'm going to get a really good camera. Do you know how cameras work? Do you know about lighting? I'll learn. Don't worry. I'll learn. You know, maybe you should get a real job and put this on the side. Has this ever happened to you? Where someone is encouraging you to do something that's more grounded than your passion is telling you to do? Okay? So in relationship, again, just like with the chakras, in this system, we work with other people to test our balance in life. Relationship is the testing ground for whether we can take our inspirations and eventually complete them. So this is definitely the relationship side to life. And it's important to know how to receive and at the same time express. Because if we're too affected by what Mom or someone else says, then it could put out our fire. It'll literally put earth and dirt on the fire, and there goes our passion. So someone says, oh, so what do you do at the party? That's what people say at a party. What do you do? Well, I wanted to be a photographer once. Oh, photography's great. What happened? Why didn't you become a photographer? Well, my mom started telling me that I should probably get a real job. And she's probably right. And, my brother, he's an accountant. And so he, took me into the business. And so it's because of them that I'm kind of lacking that passion in my life. Do you feel sorry for, can I have a hug? It's a different energy now. Fire element, rising energy and radiating energy, their voices are up and all over the place and getting excited. Ah! And now the voice starts to go down. How does the radiating energy person dance? The fire, the summer. What's the feeling? How do they dance? Ecstatic. Okay? They're ecstatic and completely unpredictable. If you see the fire element person dance, it's just like you don't know what's next. And they are not necessarily a good dancer either. Okay? They're just, whoa, what's that? Okay? There could be chaos. Right? The flowing dancers, feel this energy in their motions, right? So earth element here, they tend to want to be in relationship. We need relationship. That's great. They're great listeners. When earth element is working well in our body, we care about other people. We know the importance of being in connection. So you sense that empathy with them, the real Mother Earth type. Okay? And when this element is off, we're blaming others. Others affect us too much. So if you're in the healthcare business, doing massage especially, which is very, very earth element, by the way. All of these have a certain sense to them. This is the sense of touch, earth element, because it's very grounding. You're going to hear people complain to you every hour. Okay? You're going to say, hi, how are you? But. I'm fine, but. I have this and I have that. Are you going to help me? That's what they're saying. So if our earth element as practitioners is low in energy, then we could be dragged down quite easily by too many people wanting to get chi from their sessions with us. That could translate into letting our cells give them energy, which is very important to never do. Okay? So this is the so-called affected by others in extreme, we're victims. If you ever use the sentence, you make me feel so happy or terrible, whatever it is, it means that we're too easily affected by someone else's energy, because without them, we would be weak. Or with them, we're too affected and we get dragged down. So this is the energy of blaming others when this element is on. Don't do that. So this will help to change that. Balanced earth element is not how to blame others, but how to participate with others, how to care, how to be compassionate without being attached. This is perhaps the lesson of life on planet Earth, is how can I be caring and loving without being dragged down by another person's energy? Would you like to learn that? I'll give you a hint for how to learn it, is never compromise. And we've been programmed. If you want to get along in life, you've got to compromise. Have you ever heard this? So now this could be semantics, and I'll explain what I mean. Okay, I really like brownies, all right? And there's just some times in my life where I just want to enjoy that brownie and just let it nourish me, okay? And there I am, I'm about to do it, and here comes one of my friends singing and looking at my delicious brownie. And that person comes over and they don't even have to say anything. I don't see the saliva. I can just see them going, oh gee, if Seymour was a nice guy, he would give me some of his brownie. Hey, you probably want some of this brownie, don't you? If I give him half of that brownie, the whole time while I'm eating my half, I'm still thinking about his half. That's a compromise. When we give part of ourselves away to be nice or for whatever reason we think we're supposed to, this is earth element imbalance. Instead of compromise, resolve the situation so that both people, you've heard this, are 100% happy. What's this situation called? What's the expression? When you're in a win-win situation. Now, it's easy to solve this problem of mine with the brownie, isn't it?
Make many brownies.
Make mini brownies. You're salivating at my brownie, John. So, you know what? Here, take $3, get yourself a brownie, and come on back and we'll enjoy them together. That's easy. Everybody's happy. It only costs $3. Okay? I'm suggesting we get to do this in all of our relationships. To never settle. To wait until you get a solution that works for both people. She wants to go to the desert. He wants to go skiing. They've only got 2 weeks. If you give up what you want, it will come back later. Remember that time when we went skiing and I want to go to the desert? Well, now you got to do something for me.
Right.
That is not a gift. Okay? A gift is free. Okay? Sometimes people are afraid to receive a gift because they think that they have to give you something back. My mother, bless her soul, she's still around and everything. When she gets invited to a wedding, she gives a present that costs the same as the meal at the wedding. How much do you think they're spending on me? Fine, I'm going to get a gift that matches that. That's not a gift. Okay? So when we give someone, so if you say, okay, you know what, let's go to the desert, honey. If you want to give that gift, make sure it's for free. Make sure that you feel better giving that gift. Because the whole time you're going to be in the desert, you're going to be thinking about that ski slope and that snowboarding, whatever it is that you wanted to do. So either find a creative solution that works for both people, or give it as a gift. And even if you're going to negotiate, you can negotiate too. You can say, all right, fine, so we'll go to the desert, and for sure, I want a commitment that we're going to go next week, next month, next year, at this time. Is that good? Great, and then do it. It's free. But it's not something you're holding on to and you're resenting. Okay? And this is what can make relationships grow, because when we bridge the space between those differences, it makes a lot of energy. And we can find a solution that works for people. These are your closest friends. These are your closest relationships. Not the people that just like you. Not the quick relation, oh, you do this, I do that, and we like each other, that's great. True relationships, close relationships, happen because of the differences that we resolve. You must know somebody like this, that you were at odds with, and didn't know how you would ever get close to them, but somehow you worked something out. If you haven't had this, I sure hope you have more of these. These are really great ways to learn bonding and connection. These are the glue. This is the glue, the substance of deep connection. Right? So if that couple now, all right, they share a dream together. They have some sort of cosmic awareness that they're supposed to be together. They have commonalities. They like to wake up at the same time. They like the same kind of movies. When they have that, then it creates spark. And they have great off-the-wall passion. It's great. It's fire energy. And they know how to work out their differences. And they stay with it, and they stick with it, and they persevere until they find scenarios that work for both people. This is really successful, right? Yeah? Would this be a nice relationship? So then you go to the final phase, gathering to completion. So here was grounding in earth element, and now gathering to completion. This is called metal element. That relationship becomes solid as a rock. In classical relationships, it's signified by the hardest of all stones, the diamond, and the ring that is a circle that the couple will always go through these cycles of nature and be solid ad infinitum, round and round. So this is metal element. This is gathering to completion. This is the part of us that knows how to finish things, knows how to complete something, to be very dependable. Say it, do it. You said you're going to be here at 5 o'clock, you're here at 5 o'clock. And when this is in distortion, there's too much order. There's too much sticking to what was said. You said this, but now you want to do this? I didn't know about it. I need order. They can be too. It's also lungs and large intestine, this element. We did heart up here, yeah. And here in earth, let me go backtrack. Earth element grounding is stomach, spleen, pancreas. Pancreas keeps your blood sugar level even, so your desires in relationship are even. They're regulated. And now you have lungs, where through your relationship with another, you discover who you are as an individual. Your differences in relationship help you to know yourself. So here we are in gathering to completion. The soul becomes complete. I know who I am because of all the other elements, seasons of the year, and times of the day. We discover our individuality. Lungs and large intestine. So there's a certain order to this, and when there's a distortion in lungs and large intestine metal element, these people tend to be too analytical. It worked last year. A plus B equals C. So I'm just going to do that all the time. If it worked once, it will work again. That makes sense. But what happens? Change. So we need a little bit of flow. It goes into the next phase. So they tend to be too controlling, too orderly. The opposite of fire element, how do they dance? Slow dance. They need order. One step forward, 2 steps back, 1 to the side. Now I know the dance. Actually, all the robotic dancing, isolation of muscles, that's real metal element. And it's something that society needs right now. Internet, all over the place, we're all over the world, all these things going on in different directions. We need some metal in our lives, so it makes sense. People are doing a lot of piercings. People are dancing in these very defined, know your body ways, stay in the body metal elements. So socially, we need some of this. And when there's too much of it, it's too stuck. Everything has to be just right. Oh, there. Now I have order. But to look at all of you sprawled all over the ground, and people are in different positions and different colors, this is not a metal element group. This is more fire element. Look at the colors. Look at everybody moving around. Metal element would be that typical, everybody's sitting in seiza, you know. Everybody's in order. What color is the room? What color is the gathering of all colors? What color is the most orderly? Green. Nope.
White.
White. Go eat spaghetti wearing all white, and you will know what it's like to have a metal element behavior. Right?
That's hilarious.
Because you know, one little drop is going to go terrible. Okay? So that's a sense of when there's a metal distortion, what you might feel. Obsessive, compulsive, that kind of stuff. Yeah. And white is the gathering of all colors. What's the fire element person wearing? Orange, fire, red, really vivacious colors. So you could do 5-element closet diagnosis. Open up their closet, or their closet has greens, purples, clashing colors, crazy, wild. Black is the warmest. Winter gathers the most heat, so darker colors are here. Rising energy, classically, it's the green colors. Springtime comes, everything starts to get green, but it's anything that lets your energy move up. So you could look at any manifestation in life and look at it as a function of the seasonal movements. And here is, when this element is off, they're either too orderly, and if they finished the project and they finally completed it, I finally completed my goal and my dream, and now I find out that it pollutes the environment and it's costing millions of dollars and all the wreckage because I invented the car. Metal element would do what about that? I invented it, so how do I feel? If you invented a machine that was causing global warming and maybe finishing the end of the world, how would you feel about that?
Awful.
Would you feel guilty? Here it is. So instead of blaming others, which would be earth element, this is the part of us that blames self. I'm such an idiot. Have you ever said, I'm such a something? Metal element. So we've done all of these distortions. We've blamed others, we've blamed ourselves, we've had anxiety, had too many ups and downs, too scattered, we've been frustrated, we've detached from life. Which one have you done more of? Which one do you do most often? Maybe a diagnosis, an assessment of your elements. So when we're working on people, we look for the empty and full, no matter what the symptom is. So a symptom might be very obviously, someone has high blood pressure, certainly something's going on with the heart, okay? Without any doubt. And maybe they're really, really frustrated. Maybe they're too detached. Maybe they've got pressure in relationships. Maybe they feel too guilty. And that's the cause of the symptom, high blood pressure. So we're looking for which elements are most full and most empty to find out where the energy's being stuck at, where it's not circulating. And then the symptom, once it changes and harmonizes, everything feels better because the energy is just flowing evenly. Flowing evenly with nature, with the seasons, with the time of day. Draw a circle on a separate piece of paper. Draw a circle with your non-dominant hand. Most of you, that'll be your left hand. Draw a circle. And now you superimpose your circle. Do it. Everybody do it. Do it first. Here's your circle right here. Which part of your circle is empty? Which part of your circle is full? Which part is jumping out? Which part of your circle is collapsing? Okay? This is your assessment right now. This is where your energy is right now. I don't know if that's consistent for you. You just have to keep drawing circles. Okay? You see how one part of it's pushing out a little bit? Yeah. So that part's your full, the part that's pushing out. The flat part or the recessed part is your empty. Okay? Has anybody got a real extreme one? A real obvious one? Here's a lopsided one. Can we get that in there?
Well, no.
Mm-hmm. Does that show the opposite there? No, that's right, yeah. Good. Okay, so you've got this. I don't know if you can see it. It's really jutting out between fire and earth. Okay? So there's a lot of energy that's pulling towards relationship. And it's empty here. And it almost feels, when I look at your circle, it almost feels to me like you want to back up a year or something. Like you just want to like kind of back up to get that circle moving a little slower so that you can round it out. It almost feels like to me because it went up really fast and then it's falling down. I generally say this is more of like a fire element because there's ins and outs everywhere and it tends to go up and then fall down. Okay, you can start to look at your.
What are we again? Fire, earth, and
Mine would be
water?
like that.
Well, here's water elements.
Yeah.
Water's here, that's the flowing. Here's the rising, is the tree-like energy. Here's the fire, which is the radiating energy. Here's the earth, everything's coming down to earth. And then deep under the earth is the metal, the solid. Now people say, well, what about the other system of the air? Where's the air element? Where's the air here? If you think of air as an energy, not just as an element, is it up or is it down? Air. Air is expanded. So like the Ayurvedic system or just your regular astrology, just think of it as energies. Air is the most expanded, it's the highest. Now, other questions on this? You got a bunch?
Close my eyes.
Yeah.
Trying to know. Still.
Why
what-
your non-dominant hand?
Me too.
Aha. Why do you think you're non-dominant hand?
You have lost control over it.
Yeah, you're showing more your internal nature. You're showing more what's going on subconsciously. Okay, you can control what's going on a little bit better. You're a little more under control with your dominant hand. But with your non-dominant hand, you're revealing what's going on more internally, maybe what you don't know about in your life. Okay.
So like on what I do, it's blowing out there and blowing out there, or?
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you got two fulls.
Yeah, right, okay.
Uh-huh. So you may be an extreme between those two.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Wow, that's so cool.
Okay, and then you can, I mentioned it briefly, look at those distortions of the elements. So what do you do when you have a difficulty, a challenge, a difficulty? Do you tend to, think of someone, some relationship you're in that pushes your buttons, right? You all have, maybe you don't have anybody like that. Okay. What's your reaction
That's a big sign.
most? Do you tend to detach from it? Just get out of there because you need to find your big picture? Do you tend to get pissed off and want to bust through it? Do you tend to get hyperactive about it and lose your center and go off in different directions in your head? Do you tend to blame other people? Do you tend to blame yourself and call yourself names about it? Which to do more often? Okay. So that may be showing you where you need some work on your body. If you changed what's going on in the internal organs, then this behavior will change. Blaming other people is because you don't have enough energy for yourself, your blood sugar level's low, so you need energy from outside your body, so you blame outside. So there's connections to the physical function. Or spleen creates white blood cells, which is our immune system. So if your immune system is low, then it's hard for you to be around others because others will make you sick. That's spleen, pancreas, earth element. So the physical connections to behavior. Now, another one is, which one you like the least in others? Okay. So here's a challenging person to me. And a simple challenge can just be Seymour, why did you do that? So would you please say that to me?
Seymour, why did you do that to me?
She's good. Well, if you look at the infinite universe, what I did is so inconsequential. So work it up, baby. Okay, that's one reaction. Go ahead. Now somebody else or a different day.
Seymour, why did you do that to me?
I did it because I want to do it. What are you going to do about it? So that changes things, doesn't it? It actually pushes her away, so I don't have to deal with her question. Okay. Another friend. So that's where we're here. On another day. Go ahead.
What's your deal? Seymour.
What did you say? You're wondering what? I don't know. I'll figure it out. I'll get it. It's just too much confusion, right? Fire element. Okay. Go ahead.
Seymour, why are you acting that way?
Well, it's actually last night I got a phone call from my brother. You wouldn't believe his energy. He affects me so much. You know, he abused me when I was a little child. Did you know that? Do you feel sorry for me now? Earth element. Go ahead.
Seymour, why are you acting that way?
Because I'm an idiot. I'm an absolute idiot. I always do it wrong. It's always my fault. And that's it. Do you see how these actually keep us away from really dealing with the situation? They give us a little bit of emotional energy, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. Which one of those do you like the least when you saw it? Okay. Like which one, well, I don't like when people do that. Then that's also something of yours to work on. Okay? What we don't like in other people's behavior is because we're still supposed to learn something about it. We may not be as angry as them, okay? But we do have frustration. And the reason they're going, I did it because I want to do it, and they keep on doing that to us is because we're supposed to learn something from this lesson. And so that's why it's in our face, particularly in that one. And we're supposed to learn the opposite, which is patience and playfulness. And so that's why this person's in our life, to help us with that lesson. So what you don't like in yourself and what you don't like in others is a channeling, it's a focus for us to resolve these different tensions in our life. And so we, as body workers with Zen-Touch, we feel those places and help them by connecting the empties and fulls. And even if we say nothing at all, the body gets where it's supposed to make change, and they start feeling better. That's where Zen-Touch Shiatsu, that's how Zen-Touch Shiatsu works with people. A lot of times it's just on the subconscious, and they make their own changes and recommendations, because the energy of the organs and that connect to the nature of the world shifts, and finds a better balance. All right, well, this is good food for thought. If you want to work on a particular element, you're going to go out and have lunch. What do you need? More grounding? You need more spice? You need more salad? You need some warming foods? You need something very predictable, orderly? What do you need? So you can put foods in your body that nourish each one of these.
sunshine.